Buenas and half a day. The Committee on Rules hereby calls this meeting to order. For the record, today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, and the time now is 2:15 p.m. Committee on Rules Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, please take roll call of our members.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes. Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton.
Half a day.
Speaker Terlahi. Senator Nelson. Senator San Augustine. Senator Rajel. Senator Terlahi. Senator Perez. Senator Blas. Senator Torres. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Siduous Masti, Director Maravilla. Do we have a motion to excuse members not present? Moved by Senator San Augustine and seconded by Senator Nelson to excuse members not present. Any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the core meeting minutes from September 15th, 2022? These minutes can be found in the Google Drive folder, and the meeting is titled 01 Meeting Minutes. Moved by Senator Perez, seconded by Senator San Augustine to approve the minutes of September 15th, 2022. Are there any objections?
Subject to any administrative corrections.
Subject to corrections. Hearing no objections, motion passes. The first item of core business is an update on document tracking. I will now provide my report, which can be found in the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 02 Legislative Secretary Report. The Legislative Secretary Report to date is as follows. There are 124 appointments submitted by Governor Leon Guerrero. 1 appointment confirmed during the February 2021 session, 14 confirmed in March 2021, 8 confirmed in April 2021, 7 confirmed in May 2021, 7 confirmed in July 2021, 13 confirmed in August 2021, 10 confirmed in September 2021, 3 confirmed in October 2021, 12 confirmed in December 2021, 10 appointments confirmed during the January 2022 session, 8 confirmed during the February 2022 session, 1 confirmed during the March 2022 session, 2 confirmed during the April 2022 session, 0 confirmed during the June 2022 session, 0 confirmed during the July 2022 session, 5 confirmed during the August 2022 session, and 4 appointments confirmed during the September 2022 session. That is a total of 107 appointments confirmed to date. Of the remaining 17 appointments, there are some pending confirmations, 4 have been withdrawn, and 3 have extended beyond the 90-day term limit. An additional appointment was received this morning and is not yet listed in the tracking. As a note, colleagues, there are 26 zone change requests at this time, and an additional zone change was received this morning as well and is not yet listed in the tracking. There are 13 rules and regulations requests. Bills have been introduced for our now law, and 2 were approved by default. That is the Secretary's report. The next item of business is the ratification of referrals, and the referrals of bills and appointments are indicated in each of the corresponding logs, which can be found in the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 03 Legislative Item Logs. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of bills number 335-36COR through 342-36LS? Speaker Terlahi, you are recognized.
Yes, I'd just like to raise a point on one bill, that is Bill 341-36. This was introduced by myself, Sabina Perez, Telotaitigui. It's an act to amend Chapter 7 of Division 1, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, and add a new N to 9302B1 of Chapter 9 of Division 1, Title 26, Guam Administrative Rules and Regs, relative to expanding options for assisted living facilities. So this bill was referred on October 3rd, 2022 to the Committee on General Government Operations, Appropriations, and Housing. However, I wrote a letter to the Committee on Rules on October 6th asking the referral of Bill 341-36 be corrected and be referred to the Committee on Health. Bill 341-36 proposes to establish a regulatory framework enforced by the Department of Public Health and Social Services for multiple types of assisted living facilities. The proposed changes to the statutes in the bill are to Title 10 of the Guam Code Annotated and Title 26 of the Guam Administrative Rules and Regs, which both pertain to health and safety and public health and social services, respectively. The Bill 341-36 does not have an appropriation attached to it, nor does it have to do with the Guam Housing Corporation, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, the Affordable Housing Coordinating Council, or Housing and Urban Renewal in general. The bill is clearly within the jurisdiction and best analyzed by the Committee on Health, who has oversight over the Department of Public Health and Social Services and the application of Medicaid and Medicare through public health, the Department of Public Health and Social Services. So as you know, Section 10.02(I)(a) of the Standing Rules of the 36th Guam Legislature places jurisdiction of bills relative to health, social welfare, and social services squarely within the jurisdiction of the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture. So for the record, I'm respectfully requesting that the Committee on Rules correct the referral of the Bill number 341-36 to be in conformance with our standing rules. I'd also like to state that for the record, this is the 8th time this term that our committee has requested that a referral of a bill be corrected and changed to be in conformance with the standing rules. So I would make a motion to approve the referrals of the bills as you stated, Madam Chair, with the exception of this Bill 341.
Thank you very much. There has been a motion to ratify the referral of bills number 335-36 COR through 342-36 LS with the exclusion of 341-36 COR. Is there a second? There has been a second. Moved by Speaker Terlahi, seconded by Senator San Augustine. Do I hear any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Speaker, you are recognized.
I'm going to try this. I'd like to make a motion to refer Bill 341 to the Committee on Health.
There has been a motion to refer Bill number 341-36 COR to the Committee on Health, seconded by Senator Perez. On the motion.
Madam Chair, can I comment to that? The bill's been referred to me, to my committee.
Yes.
Let me go look at the bill, and then I'll respond to it if it needs to be re-referred.
Is that an objection?
Then that would be an objection, because I'm asking just a little time. You just got to get back to the office and take a look at the bill and see where we're at.
Sure. Thank you.
I understand where the speaker's coming from, but I just want to take a look at it first. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator San Augustine. There has been an objection. On the motion, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion fails. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of appointments? Moved by Senator Terlahi. Senator Pito Terlahi, is there a second? Seconded by Senator San Augustine to ratify the referrals of appointments. Do I hear any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of resolutions? Moved by Senator Pito Terlahi, seconded by Senator San Augustine to ratify the referrals of resolutions. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. We will now move to the consideration of items eligible for placement on the agenda. Speaker Terlahi, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I apologize, colleagues. I forgot to make one more point. I just want to raise this as a point of order for the consideration of the Committee on Rules. So the referral, this is Bill 339-36. It was introduced by Senator Ada It's an act to repeal Section 35 of Chapter 12, Public Law 36-107, relative to exproprio vigore powers granted the General Manager of the Guam Visitors Bureau. So this was referred on October 3rd, 2022, to the Committee on Appropriations, and I wanted them to consider or to inquire why it was not referred to the Committee on Tourism. The bill amends the fiscal year 2023 Budget Act provision relative to GVB, and it's the granting of fiscal authority and autonomy to the General Manager of the Guam Visitors Bureau. It's not itself an appropriation or anything like that. It's really their like a temporary amendment to their enacting legislation, their statutes.
Thank you. It is noted.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
That's a question only, not a motion?
It was not a motion. It was
Okay.
just a note for the record.
Okay.
Okay.
Then no comment at this time.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator San Augustine. We will now hear motions to place items on the agenda. Senator San Augustine, you are recognized.
I'd ask that to be added on the agenda is Bill number 262-36 LS as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, co-sponsored by Speaker Teresa Lai, an act to amend Section 18128 of Chapter 18, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, relative to amending the requirements for a license to operate schools that teach cosmetology, barbering, manicuring, or any nail technology, aesthetics, electrology, or hairstyling, and establishing an interim license for the schools seeking accreditation.
Thank you very much. On the motion to add to the agenda, seconded by Senator Terlahi. Repeat the number again, Senator.
Bill 262.
On the motion to add Bill 262-36, moved by Senator San Augustine, seconded by Speaker Terlahi. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Senator San Augustine, you are still recognized.
I only have bills that are be potential, be identified potential, so I'll wait until that time.
Yes, we'll
Thank
come
you.
back to you. To add to the agenda, Senator Pito Terlahi, you are recognized. Microphone, please.
13736. Bill 137-36 COR, introduced by myself, Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Clinton E. Rigel, Mary Camacho Torres. This is an act to appropriate funds to the Governor of Guam Retirement Fund to conduct a study relative to enhanced benefit for uniformed personnel in the defined benefit 1.75 retirement system.
Thank you very much. There's been a motion by Senator Pito Terlahi to add Bill number 137-36. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Talina Nelson. Are there any objections? No objection. Motion passes. Bill number 137-36 is added to the session agenda. Any other motions? Motion to place. Speaker?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move Bill number 335-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture. It's sponsored by myself. It's an act to amend Sections 84101, 84103, 84104, 84105, 84107, 84110, 84111, 84112, and 84122 to add a new 84124 and to further repeal and reenact 84102, all of Chapter 84, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, relative to updating emergency medical services provisions in Guam law, establishing initial licensure fees and eligibility, training, and skill requirements for emergency medical service personnel. So this report was submitted and cleared by Committee on Rules on October 10.
Thank you, Speaker. There's been a motion to place Bill number 335-36 on the session agenda. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Perez. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Motions to place. Speaker, you're still recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to move Bill number 319, COR is amended by the prime sponsor and further amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture. This was introduced by Therese M. Terlahi, Telo Taitagui. It's an act to add a new Chapter 42C to Division 3, Title 7 Guam Code annotated relative to implementing the, quote, Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act of 2021, unquote, into Guam law. 319.
Is there a second to the motion? Seconded by Senator Perez, moved by Speaker Terlahi to place Bill number 319-36 on this session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Motions to place. Speaker, you're still recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to move to place Bill number 248-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by myself, Therese M. Terlahi. It's an act to amend Section 81-109, renumber 81-112 as 81-113, and add a new 81-112, all to Chapter 81, Title 10, Guam Code annotated, and to amend Chapter 20, Division 3 of Title 26, Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations, relative to authorizing the Commission on Postmortem Examinations to create a fee schedule for services and establishing the Office of Postmortem Examinations Operation Revolving Fund.
There has been a motion by Speaker Terlahi to place Bill number 248-36 onto the session agenda, seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Motions to place. Yes,
I'd like to make some motions on behalf of Senator Torres. Is that
please
all right?
proceed.
All right, so, all right, I'd like to move that, I'm sorry, these would be potential.
Okay, we'll come back to them
Okay,
then.
yes.
Any motions to place on the session agenda? Senator Nelson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to place Bill number 257-36 LS, sponsored by Amanda L. Shelton, which is an act to increase cost of living allowance payments for governments of Guam retirees and to appropriate $15,945,600 from the general fund to the Department of Administration for fiscal year 2023. The public hearing was held, just to note, the public hearing was held on May 16, 2022, and the committee report was filed on October 11, 2022, which is currently under the review of CORE.
Thank you very much. There's been a motion to place 257-36 LS.
I think it's potential right now, and I'm not objecting to it, but if we can list it on the potential, it'll just clear by probably tomorrow or by Friday.
Okay, we
And
will.
then, and then we'll put it all on the floor. But I have no objection to it.
Okay, we will list it as a potential item.
on the list.
Thank you very much. Any motions to place on the agenda? Senator Perez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place Bill number 297-36 LS as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning, sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, co-sponsored by Senators Mary Camacho Torres, Amanda L. Shelton, Jose Pito Terlahi. It's an act to add a new Article 8 to Chapter 3 of Title 22 Guam Code annotated relative to eliminating discrimination and promoting women's health and economic security by ensuring reasonable workplace accommodations for workers whose ability to perform the functions of a job are limited by pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical condition, and to cite this act as a Pregnant Workers Fairness Act.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, it has been moved by Senator Perez to place Bill number 297-36 LS, seconded by Senator San Augustine, onto the second session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. To place. Motions to place. Hearing none, we'll take potential items, a list of potential items. Speaker, Senator Nelson, you are recognized. Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Blas, motions to place on the agenda.
I know, we didn't
You look,
recognize,
you look
Please
right to me.
proceed.
we thought you were a Democrat, no?
Yes, sorry. I apologize, Senator Blas.
Then I feel bad because I got left out. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move to place Bill number 311-36 COR as amended by the Committee on General Government Operations, Appropriations, and Housing, sponsored by myself and Senator Joe San Augustine, which is an act to add a new Chapter 25 to Title I Guam Code annotated relative to establishing a Guam Criminal Law and Procedure Review Commission for the purpose of updating Title 8 and Title 9 of the Guam Code annotated.
Second.
It has been moved by Senator Blas to place Bill number 311-36, seconded by Senator San Augustine on the session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Senator Blas, you're still recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move to place resolution number 348-36 COR, sponsored by Senator V. Antoniata and Senators Telena Cruz Nelson and Christopher M. Duenas, relative to requesting that the Guam Department of Education to incorporate financial literacy into its high school curriculum as a standalone course and require successful completion of the course as a graduation prerequisite beginning with school year 2023 and 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion to place resolution number 348-36 by Senator Blas, seconded by Senator San Augustine, onto the session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, one moment. Senator Blas, you're still recognized.
The other bills, ma'am, is for consideration, so I'll
Okay.
wait my turn. I'll wait my turn, but just as long as you can remember to see me.
Okay, thank you, Senator Blas. Senator Terlahi. Okay, microphone.
I ask for reconsidering on that bill because that's on already.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That, just remove it because it's already in the Budget Act, that's why. No, it was on the agenda, but that's why it was set aside. Withdraw.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. There has been a motion by Senator Pito Terlahi to reconsider the action of the committee on Bill number 137-36. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Bill 137-36 is removed from the agenda. On motion to place.
Potential?
A motion. Okay, now we'll move on to potential items. Potential.
Okay, I have.
Okay, Senator San Augustine, you are recognized.
All right, I have Bill 306-36, introduced by myself, co-sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Senator Chris Duenas, Senator Jem Molan, as amended by the Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture, Power and Energy Utilities, and the Arts, an act to amend Section 58104K and 58136 of Article 1 and to add a new Article 3 to Chapter 58 of Title 12, Guam Code entered relative to the issuance of qualifying certificate to captive insurance companies who wholly underwrite insurance risks outside of Guam. That was submitted to CORE. It's just, hopefully by the end of the week, it'll clear.
Thank you. Please repeat the number, just the number.
Bill 306.
Okay, that we will take note, Bill 306-36. That's a potential item for listing. Any other potential items,
Yes,
Senator
I
San
have two more. I have Bill 327, introduced by myself, as amended by the Committee on General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing, an act to add a new Article 13, Chapter 77, Division 2, Title 12, Guam Code, and relative to allowing business contributing to the design and construction of the Guam National Tennis Federation tennis facilities to be eligible for a tax credit. That's also been submitted to CORE. It's just a matter of time of them clearing. Hopefully it'll clear by session.
Thank you. We'll take note of Bill 327-36.
And we have also Bill 340-36, as introduced by myself, co-sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Senator Amanda Shelton, Senator Clint Rigel, and Jose Pito Terlai, an act to amend Section 13 of Part 3 of Chapter 2 of Public Law 36-106, the fiscal year 2023 budget relative to the University of Guam's Capital Improvement Fund. That's also has been submitted to the CORE, pending their clearing.
Thank you. Noted.
And we
Bill
have-
340-36 as a potential item.
And we have one more bill, and that's Bill 332-36, introduced by Senator Jim Moylan, co-sponsored by Senator Chris Duenas, Senator Frank Blas, and Senator Tony Ada, an act to add a new Article 13 to Chapter 77, Title 12, Guam Code, and relative to a public-private partnership for the rehabilitation and improvements of the football fields operated by the Guam National Youth Football Federation.
Bill
332.
332-36, noted. Thank you.
2. Yeah.
332-36.
That'll be heard. And
It has
that's
not
why
yet
the
been heard,
potential.
but okay.
That's correct.
Thank you very much. Anything
Thank you.
else, Senator San Augustine?
Nothing
Okay.
further.
Any potential items? Speaker, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to place Bill number 334-36 COR. It's introduced by myself, Therese Terlahi. It's an act to add a new Article 3A to Chapter 1, Division 1 of Title 26, Guam Administrative Rules and Regs, relative to the adoption of rules and regulations for child placement agencies. This public hearing was held, I think, on September 20, 2022. The committee report, it's not yet finalized, but we're hoping to finalize that, so I'd like to put that on the potential items list. 334, Bill 334-36 COR.
Okay, noted. Bill number 334-36 as a potential item. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to move on behalf of Senator Mary Camacho Torres to place Bill number 312-36 COR on the potential items. I believe this is being routed. It's been reported, well, yeah, it's being routed for votes out of the committee. This is an act to amend Section 40105A of Chapter 40, Title 7 of the Guam Code annotated relative to expanding necessary protections for victims of abuse to maintain the safety and basic needs of the victim or the minor child or children in common with the defendant. So the public hearing was held on September 21, and it is being routed for votes.
The number again?
312-36.
312-36, noted. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Sorry, correction. This bill has been submitted to the Committee on Rules today.
Okay, thank you very much. So should be cleared soon.
Okay. So yes, I'd also like to add Bill number 313-36 COR, also sponsored by Senator Mary Camacho Torres, Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Christopher Dueñas, Jose Pito Terlay, Telena Cruz Nelson, James Moylan, V. Anthony Ada, Frank Blas Jr., Joe S. San Augustine, Amanda L. Shelton, Sabina F. Perez. It's an act to add a new Chapter 48 to Title 7 Guam Code annotated relative to establishing a protection order for a person who is a victim of non-consensual sexual contact or non-consensual sexual penetration. This public hearing was held on September 21. The committee report was received by Committee on Rules today.
Thank you very much. Noted. Any other potential items?
Just one more, please.
Okay,
So Bill number 314-36 COR, also sponsored by Mary Camacho Torres, Tina Rose Muña Barnes, Christopher M. Dueñas, Jose Pito Terlahi, Telena Cruz Nelson, James Moylan, V. Anthony Ada, Frank Blas Jr., Joe S. San Augustine, Amanda L. Shelton, Sabina F. Perez. It's an act to add a new Chapter 40B to Title 7 of the Guam Code annotated relative to establishing a protection order for a person who is a victim of stalking conduct. This public hearing was held on September 21, and the committee report has been submitted to the Committee on Rules today.
Thank you very much. Noted. Bill number 314-36 is a potential item. Any other potential items? Senator Perez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to place as a potential item Bill 237-36. It's an act to add a new article. I'm sorry, incorrect one. It's an act to amend Section 34406E and 34406F of Chapter 34, Title 10, Guam Code annotated relative to updating violations of protecting animal welfare and safety for animals providing assistance.
Noted. Bill 237-36 is a potential item on the agenda. Anything else?
Are you accepting nominations too?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. I'll wait till then. Thank you.
Thank you. Any potential bills? Senator Nelson, you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is not a potential bill. I was going to do it during the remarks section of the hearing or the meeting, but just to note that we look to address Bill number 219-36 LS, which is an act to amend subsection 73203, subsection 73204, and subsection 73205, which is of Article 2, Chapter 73, Title 5, Guam Code annotated, relative to charges for carrier off-duty services of customs and quarantine officers. Excuse me. and to further establish a customs carrier off-duty service customs administrative processing fee. So we set that aside during September session, but we'd like to move forward with it in October, which will require a committee of the whole, so if we can get them in. And then the next bill will be Bill number 298-36LS. This is already
Sorry.
on the session agenda. Which is, this copy right here?
Motion, Madam Chair, that it be listed then on the agenda. Be added on the agenda for this session coming up.
Okay.
It's moved by Senator Nelson to place 292-36 on the agenda, seconded by Senator San Augustine. Hearing no, are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll move forward with Bill number 298-36LS, which is an act to amend Section 4 Alpha of Public Laws 34-70, 35-44, relative to the financing or refinancing improvements and capital improvements of the Jose D. Leon Guerrero Commercial Port and other related facilities and operations of the port through revenue bond proceeds.
Second to be added on the agenda.
There's been a motion by Senator Nelson to place Bill number 298-36 on the agenda, seconded by Senator San Augustine. Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
And then Bill number 257-36LS, we addressed this earlier, which is an act to increase cost of living allowance payments for governments of Guam retirees and to appropriate $15,945,600 from the general fund to the Department of Administration for fiscal year 2023. This was sponsored by Senator Shelton, co-sponsored by Joe San Augustine. As a
Thank you.
potential.
That is a potential listing. Thank you very much. Any other potential bills to be placed on the agenda?
And another
Senator-
potential
oh,
bill.
I'm sorry, Senator Nelson, please continue.
Thank you. And another potential bill, granted that my good colleagues vote on it and allow it out of committee, is Bill number 291-36LS. I'm just opening it right now. Which is an act to add a new Chapter 91 Bravo to Division 4 of Title 10 of the Guam Code annotated, relative to abortion, including abortions after detection of an unborn child's heartbeat, authorizing a private civil right of action. That is all.
Thank you. Noted. Bill 291-36 as a potential item. Senator Blas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, on behalf of Senator Jim Moylan, I'd like to move two bills for potentials as potentials. First off, is Bill number 234-36, introduced by Senator James Moylan, Senators Chris Duenas, V. Anthony Ada, and Joe S. San Augustine. An act to add a new Article 13 to Chapter 77, Title 12, Guam Code annotated, relative to establishing a public-private partnership for the installation of video security cameras in public areas. My understanding, according to Mr. Senator Moylan, is that it's currently being routed. 234.
This is not a motion. This is just to list as a potential
As
item
potential.
on the agenda. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There has been an objection to listing this as a potential item. All those in favor of listing it as a potential item? Okay, there has been an objection. All those in favor of placing Bill 234 onto the session agenda, please signify by raising your hand. Motion fails. Next potential item, Senator Blas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, and again, on behalf of Senator James Moylan, I'd like to move as a potential item, Bill number 315-36, introduced by Senator Moylan, Senator V. Anthony Ada, Senator Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, and Senator Sabina F. Perez. It's an act to amend subsection 58104A of Chapter 58, Title 12, Code annotated, relative to incentivizing entities which promote clean transportation through vehicle electrification, electronic charging infrastructure, and other mobility industries which reduce transportation emissions.
Okay, thank you very much. There's been a motion to place on the potential item listing 315-36. There has been an objection. All those in favor of placing bill number 315-36 on our potential items listing, please signify by raising your hand. Motion fails. Okay. Senator Blas, any other potential items for placement?
I'm sorry. No.
Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to any resolutions for. Okay, we're moving on to potential resolutions for placement. Any resolutions that we'd like to know? Okay, any appointments? Potential appointments. Speaker, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'd like to move the appointment of Dr. Teresa Damian Borja to serve as a member of the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority Board of Trustees onto the session agenda. Potential item.
Okay, there has been a motion to place on our potential items list the appointment of Dr. Teresa Borja Damian as GMH trustee onto our session agenda. Thank you very much. It is noted. Anyone else for a potential nominee appointment? Yes, Senator Parrott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to also add to the potential items list the nominations of 3 members to the Banking and Insurance Board. The first one is Danilo Rapadas. The second one is John McKinnon. And the third one is William West Cassidy. Yeah, we had a hearing, and we'll be sending out the committee report shortly. Banking Board or Insurance? Insurance and Banking Board.
Okay, it has been noted that as potential appointments to be moved on the session agenda, Danilo Rapadas, John McKinnon, and William West Cassidy to the Insurance and Banking Commission. Any other potential listings? Nominations and appointments.
Were those 3 nominations packaged together, or is it just all 3 separate nominations?
Yeah, 3 separate nominations.
Okay,
Correct.
just wanted to make sure that's for the record, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I'm not objecting to it. Okay.
Thank you. Noted. Yes, they are 3 separate nominations, but all to the same board, Insurance and Banking. Thank you very much. Any other potential items? Okay. A draft session agenda has been provided to each of you, which can be found in the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 04 Draft Session Agenda. There has been a motion to place bills and resolutions in the second reading file and appointments under legislative. Is there a motion to place bills and resolutions in the second reading file and appointments under the legislative concurrence? Moved by Senator Nelson, seconded by Senator San Agustin. Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. With the placement of these bills and resolutions in the second reading file and this appointment under legislative concurrence, is there a motion to adopt the session agenda?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
on that motion, I'd like to ask that we rearrange it so that the bills requiring committee of the whole are placed last, and also that we include under motions that the language regarding the potential items and the attachment of the potential items.
Okay, there has been an amendment to the motion for us to package our bills to have the committee of the whole bills at the end of the session agenda. and to include in our session agenda, under motions, the language for potential items to be placed on the agenda, along with the attachment of the bills and appointments mentioned here today. On the motion, it's been originally moved by Senator Nelson, amended by Speaker Terlahi, and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Any extension of remarks, colleagues? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Siduous Maasi, hearing no objections. We are adjourned.